guys, Rick Shaw here on the 1st of March 2022, and we are having a glorious day. It's just absolutely beautiful. The sun's warm, slight breeze. It's just beautiful. It's really nice. So we had I was looking at some of the news stuff here, and I was talking to my buddy Scott Baghorn down in Australia, and he was telling me all about these horrible floods. I mean, these are floods of biblical proportion, and you don't see the mainstream in the U.S. reporting on it. Nobody's heard of it. Anybody I've talked to there said no, they haven't seen a thing about it. And I sent them some stuff, and they were astonished. They were like, "What?" And he said it's really bad flooding, and I started digging into it a little bit. And man, it's crazy. It's some really serious flooding. It's not, when I was looking up flooding in the U.S., what I was seeing was you'd see these reporters and people in a boat, and a guy walking behind him with water only up this high on his shoe, or you'd see in the background a car that wasn't completely underwater. Just crazy, just idiotic. But I couldn't find anything in the U.S. news on it. But that's something that really gets me. So guys are really working a lot down here today. Morning, guys. But it's pretty nice. Yeah, these guys are working. They're backfilling this wall area here. I hope they get the playground for the kids going pretty soon. But here, look at that over there. See all the guys? I see they got their mixers out. We have water today, so that's a good thing. Last night on the walk, I was hearing the tank was, sounded like it was kind of empty, and I thought, oh boy. And then when I went and checked the water, we had almost no pressure upstairs. I thought, oh boy, here we go again. But this morning it was okay, so hopefully these workers have something to do to it. See, I don't know if you can tell real good with the camera, but when they got the forms up on this one too. They got forms up on a lot of them ready to go for the concrete. But check out the Telegram channel, the new everybody on there. I put a lot of stuff on there. But one thing that's getting me about this deal in the Ukraine, I'm not sweating any World War III or any of that baloney like that. I think it's a lot of things are being hyped, and a lot of people are believing it again, just like they did this convent stuff. They're falling for this. I mean, you get something like the news media for years and years telling you baloney, and you realize some of that, and then you think, oh, now they're going to start telling the truth. I don't trust any of them. I just don't. But if you think about this, this is all the news cycles covering right now. Just 24/7, how bad Putin is and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's where they're at. But what aren't they reporting? Just the thing about Australia with the floods, but it just came out, Moderna had patented over 3 years ago their COVID-19 thing. Maxwell thing isn't up there. The stuff about the election being swiped, with all these electors wanting to change their tune, none of that's being put out there. They want you to make you believe it's not real. Durham report, all this stuff with killers, they're not putting it out there, so that when people do hear something, it's fake. Because the mainstream isn't putting it out there, guys. I'm telling you. And then people say I'm a damn kook. You gotta look a little bit deeper than what you're being fed. They've said for years that when everything you see on the TV is a lie, then their job is done. And I'm not buying a lot of stuff on TV. I just saw a guy that's he's an expat in Ukraine. He's in Kiev, walking around the streets, and I put it on the Telegram what he said, and some people right off the bat jumped on me. Don't buy it. But take a look at it. Take a look at it and tell me what you think, guys. That it's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll copy a link and put it in the back. I put it out there because it was just super interesting. Here's an expat guy talking about what's going on. He's got more stuff. He's had a channel for a while. I didn't put all of them up. I just put one. You can look at his stuff later if you want. But he had another one when we was walking through the main part of the city, and you know, just interesting. I thought it was very interesting. But the other thing that you're not seeing a lot of big news on is the Supreme Court in New Zealand. They got this Ahern dude. Well, whatever. I don't know what the pronoun is. You know, Long Don or something like that. I don't know. But their Supreme Court struck down any of these kind of mandates, and they'll be using that precedent for more stuff. So hopefully that goes. We'll see. We'll see. But the other thing too that to me, I said this when they were doing it in Canada. Are these truckers falling in to a pit, you know, of the globalists? You know, the Canada, everybody was backing them. Then they start one. You know, when I start seeing that the entire world starts doing the same thing, it looks like a plan, just like they did with this convent stuff. Everybody fell in lockstep on the exact same thing. Now the truckers are doing it all over the world too. And I watched a woman give her thoughts on it, and I was sitting back there saying, yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking. You know, are they going to declare martial law in the states if they pull that? Look what they're doing in Washington, D.C. These truckers are all supposed to show up there. Are they going to have rabble-rousers in there maybe shooting the place up? You know, they seem to do that. BLM does that all the time. You know, nobody stops them. You get somebody like Trudeau, he puts a knee down for them, and then when you got a peaceful trucker, oh, he stomps on them. Guys, it's all upside down and backwards. So it's just crazy what's going on. Come on, fish shakes, come on. And but I don't think it's a good idea. I saw another thing that off of Galveston, one guy was on a rig, and he was showing all the ships that were backed up. Now, personally, all this stuff that's coming, if it's coming in from China, now that from Galveston, I don't know where all that stuff's coming from, but a lot of these ships that are being held up, coming from China, hey, hold them up, send them back for all I care. You know what I mean? The U.S. needs to start making their own stuff, become independent. But look what's happening. You know, now where are we getting all our gas and oil from? Why did this guy running the show do this unless it was on purpose for destruction? You know, that's my thing on it. And these folks, they just don't get it. They'll still sit back there and say what a wonderful guy he is. You know, old Joe, he's like our grandpa. And I saw a thing on the news feed early this morning where there were some young kids talking about, you know, this was an older report, and about backing up Trump and all this stuff. And they got some professor lady and some older black dude trying to go against him, saying, oh, he's going to get you out of here, you know. And these kids were smart enough. I think I threw that on Telegram. It starts getting, as I start adding things to Telegram, it gets bad. It says I can only keep like 100 stories for you guys to see and 300 for me. So I do have an Al Gore Beaks on there, and I put stories that I find particularly interesting. I'll put it in there, so in a week or two I can re-put it, you know, find it easily, because sometimes I watch something on there and it just gets buried. I get, this morning when I got up on just one news feed, I had 500 stories. Now, a lot of them to me are, you know, I just brush right through them because they're nothing. A lot of this Q stuff, and let's go down this way, doggy. Come on. A little noisy over there, but yeah, I do go through a lot of it, and I got a lot of feeds now. Plus, I get a lot of people sending me stuff. I appreciate it. Hey, Scott Waghorn, for letting me know about the floods down there in Australia. And we also seen that there were, you know, one of the things he said happened was the dude's car. They found the dude and his dog dead in the car because, you know, they got into the water and it flipped them over. You know, you got to really watch that. You know, when water's a very powerful force on the earth. So, but I'm glad. You know, I'm glad. And we had a pretty nice day yesterday. I got to see James responded. on that. And here's another expat. So it wasn't just me that had trouble, in that hardware store over there by the restaurant. And, it's just what I've been seeing in about the last 5 years or so. Things have changed greatly in this country from what it used to be. I remember you were, as an American, you were like a celebrity. You know what I mean? And now, no, not so. It's just not the way it is. It seems like the only foreigners here. Well, we can't win today. No matter which way I go, it's just loud. It just seems to cater to Chinese more than anything else here. And I definitely saw that when I was down in Davao City. That was just amazing. I couldn't believe that the Chinese were owners of the building that they were leasing out. Just amazed me. I thought foreigners weren't allowed to own anything. And I was even asking them, hey, isn't this, is you just 40%? No. So they get a special pass here. Don't know why, but they just do. Well, I'm gonna see if I can cut through here because it's too noisy surrounding me. I don't know where my little puppy went. Sometimes she boogies home. But here's our little path. I try to keep the kids off this because you got to watch for nails and glass and stuff. Let's see all this here. This will stay here until they start doing the next house. I'm not kidding you. They won't get in here. They won't clean that up. This will just be a big mess unless they need a piece of wood or something. But it's a shame. It's what we get here. Yeah, we got a little bit of a breeze. It's nice, guys. This is the kind of weather. I'm glad. I've been seeing a lot of friends and family up in the Northeast with the snow and stuff. One of my subscribers sent me some stuff from I believe it was Michigan, and my goodness, the snow on top of his barbecue grill was ridiculous. And I don't miss it. I do not miss all the snow and crap like that. I just don't. I like the snow, don't get me wrong, but with this back, every time it used to get real cold and everything, my back would just lock up. And even though I still got up and went to work, I just couldn't handle it anymore. That's why I moved out of the Northeast, and I wound up heading west. And that worked out really good. Worked out really good for me. Because it gave me a kicker on the pension and all that. Because out in California, that's a crazy place. All the stuff they're doing now, and our buddy Sean from Sean's Amazing Adventure, he's out there, and I don't know. I feel bad for a lot of people. I know a lot of guys that were there and left. They just boom. They just said that's it. I had one buddy. He's in Tennessee now. And a whole bunch, and he's not bringing his voting with him. That's what a lot of states are worried about. You come from California, and then they bring their votes with them too, so they just spread it all over the country. And some of them do that. There's you wouldn't believe the ultra liberal people out there. I mean, they're just insane. I got accosted pretty much by a fella and his wife, very older couple, because I was carrying a big knife, which is fully legal. And he was like, I shouldn't be able to have that. But he wasn't afraid of me because I wasn't all covered in tats and all that kind of stuff. But for him to be able to confront me about it. But this is what the kind of people you run into. I'm looking at them like, wow, when did people, even older guys like that, decide not to be men anymore? We're responsible for our little group in our area, and some of these people, they just want to hand everything over to the government, and just that's just what they want. And me, that's not my bag at all. I'd rather the government just leaves me alone. I've never ever in my life had a cop help me. They didn't help me. I've been on the side of the road changing the driver's side tire in the back. No place to really hide or anything like that, and seen cop cars driving right by. You think they'd have pulled in behind behind me and just turned their lights on for a while or something like that while I was changing my tire. But no, they're not going to do that. There's no money in it for them unless they were checking. One time I had a flat. When I was very young, I had a lot of flats. I had a cop come up to me and he's like, what's your, I'm changing the flat. He's like, what's your name? And he already set behind me, no lights on or anything, and he run the plate. He's like, what's your name? What's your date of birth? And I'm like, what the hell you want that for? I want to check you for warrants. That's all he wanted. That's all the guy wanted. He wanted to bust me for something so he can get some brownie points back at their gang headquarters. So I don't trust a lot of those guys. You can see where I'm coming from with that. And then I had a lot of people tell me, oh yeah, but there's some good ones. Well, as far as I'm concerned, the good ones that stand by and watch the bad ones do bad things are bad ones also. So this is Rickshaw out.